This time out, let's leave the local adventures behind and do something exotic. Let's go diving. Welcome to the last wanderer of Mars. But let's go diving far enough away that it's someplace where I can go camping overnight. And then, let's get there in the most exotic way possible. Let's take a train. Alright, yeah. Here at the Amtrak station, and it's almost time to get on the train to take off for Miami. Yeah. Starting at this quaint, picturesque Deco train station in downtown Orlando, our adventure begins with a train ride to Miami Beach. From there, I'll rent a car and drive from Miami to Key Largo and the ultimate destination, Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. On my way to Miami.
Alright. Let's see.
As you can see outside. Nothing like a train ride. The clickety-clack and sway of the train is as unique a feeling as there is. But it's one many folks today wouldn't know. Once upon a time, trains were the dominant means of transportation. Now, they're more or less a novelty. For one thing, a flight from Orlando to Miami takes about 45 minutes. By car, 4.5, maybe 5 hours. Because of the route, the train takes nearly 8 hours. And look, free Wi-Fi. And here we are finally in Miami. It was still 60 miles from the train station to Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park, so the plan was to rent a car and drive. Since I made the reservation on the Amtrak site, I assumed there would be a courtesy shuttle to the rental agency. Imagine my chagrin when I realized there wasn't. I was forced to take a taxi, and the fare to the agency was nearly as expensive as the rental fee. But at least I was soon in a car and on the road. Right, okay. Well, I'm now going over the bridge that will take me on to Key Largo. You know, screw the problems, screw the extra money. I'm on Key Largo now. Yeah. Key Largo is the first in a long chain of islands on the southern tip of Florida, known as the Florida Keys. It's surrounded by mangrove swamps, like this one at the edge of the campsite at Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. Morning coffee. This is how we make it here at camp. I can't believe I put this whole tent up and all that once I got in last night in the dark, but I did. And now it's the morning. I slept like a log. Now after some coffee, it's off for some adventures. Starting here at Largo Sound on the north edge of the park at a white sand beach. Yep, this is Cannon Beach. This isn't called Cannon Beach simply because of the cannons mounted on the sand. It's supposed to be the remnants of a Spanish shipwreck out there. What we're looking for both is and isn't the genuine shipwreck of a 17th century Spanish warship. The artifacts are real enough, but the ship's cannon, anchor, and surviving metal fittings were moved here and then properly arranged to give park visitors something cool to see while exploring the rocky shelf. And here to welcome us are our first denizens of the deep. No, these aren't balloons. They're jellyfish. And this is pretty much what the actual shipwreck probably looked like. In the warm Atlantic waters, the wooden ship would have disintegrated centuries ago, leaving only these iron armaments behind as testament. Well, all right then. I took the after I went snorkeling at Cannon Beach, I took the SEMA out for a flight. A couple of the park rangers informed me that you can't fly drones in state parks because in order to film and get people filmed and whatnot, you need permits and all kinds of things like that. But they also said, listen, there's nobody here, so go ahead and fly them. So, I thought that was awfully nice of them. So I took her out for a flight till the batteries ran out. A couple spectacular crashes because there's an awful lot of wind today. A cannonade, got it! So she couldn't handle that, but otherwise that was awesome. All right, now here we were with Cannon Beach, and now it's time to find our way back to the campsite where we're at number 19 right there. Boy, I'll tell you what, there is some serious swamp around here. Most of the island is like this. mangrove swamps that begin with seagrass and then give way to hardwood hammocks.
Okay, just found myself a nice little inlet and decided to go take a swim. Try and get out of the water. It's giving me really bad looks, and I look at there's a big sign right there that says no swimming in the marina. Oops. Oh my god. So, no drone flying, but I fly drones. No swimming in the marina, but I do that too. The last wanderer of Mars is a bad boy. Boy, I cannot tell you how much trouble I had finding this place last night in the pitch dark. Well, I think as you can see, the state park here is a combination of tent sites and RV sites as well. So there's a big combination of both. Some cases, look at that, trailers, tents, and RVs all together.
So you could say this isn't exactly wilderness camping. That's not to say there aren't strange creatures lurking about.
Okay, there's a big green iguana on this tree, and I'm going to stalk him down to get a picture of him. He's just over there, over a tree in Deadfall Brook here. I think he took to the hills. Anyway, but this is the stream. There he is. Last thing I really want to do is fall in here, but just there. He ain't doing much, but that's a good shot of him.
But now it's time to head across the marina to board one of these boats for the main event.
Well, alright then. I'm now parked over near the marina, and now it's off to the reef.
Blue tickets and it's the last stop at the end for Snorkel Express.
Blue tickets? Blue tickets where? Down there?
Blue tickets on down the line.
Blue tickets down the line. I guess it's non-beginners. I don't know.
See ya, maybe. Sounds good. Yo.
Thank you last night.
Huh? Yeah.
This is Wade, our captain.
Everyone should have a blue boarding pass for your group. Go on and take that out. Give it to the first person in your group.
Alright, buddy. You get a fun color?
Boarding the boat.
On top of the boat, we have 2 life floats. We have life jackets overhead, more than enough for everybody on board. We have an EPIRB at the back of the boat that tells the Coast Guard where we are in the water. There's also 2 fire extinguishers back there. There's one up front by me, and there's a throw ring up front in case anybody goes overboard, which you are not allowed to do. You have to stay on board until I tell you it's okay to get off the boat. When your feet are hanging straight down, you are more than likely kicking coral. So please be aware of that, especially if you're over the coral. If you can't maintain a flat position like this, which is what we call it snorkeling, this is what I call bobbing or drowning slowly, whichever the case may be. So make sure you stay on your belly snorkeling as opposed to up and down when you're over the coral.
They need my help. I should go on that boat. Alright.
Along with Wade is Katie, the dive master.
Go ahead and unbuckle those and let them fall to the floor, please.
Here, she wants to show the captain of that other boat back there that her crew is much more enthusiastic than theirs.
Passing us? Alright, right when they're right next to us, we gotta do it.
Alright.
Alright,
Okay,
Ready?
here we go. Ready?
steady. And go!
Rivalries. They're everywhere.
Now it's out to the open sea.
Captain Wade is taking us 3 miles out to sea to the Pennekamp Coral Reefs, a 70-mile area of shallow reefs abounding with a variety of coral and other sea life. It's the beginning of a reef structure that trails the length of the Florida Keys, and it's America's first underwater national park.
Alright guys, if I can get everyone's attention for a few minutes please, we'll talk about where we are, where you want to go, where you do not want to go, because there are places you don't want to go and what you might see today. So we're at a reef called Grecian Rocks, and you can see it's much calmer over here than it was over at the statue. So that's why we come here on windy days, is because this reef provides protection for us. So you can see the waves breaking across the reef. That's where you do not want to go, into those waves.
Gotcha.
Don't go into those waves. Stay out of those things.
Stay out of the waves. Good
Brown
idea.
area right here. That once we finish turning, it's going to be pointing. The boat's going to be pointing that way. So you're going to go to the front of the boat once the wind kicks us around. So you're going to get off and go straight there to this area. For those of you that want a little deeper water, you swim up this right-hand side towards that far white ball. What you do not do is go to that white ball and then turn left and go down the back side of the reef. You go to that white ball, you look around, and you come back. Don't go out near that ball. Everything is over here in this dark area, so that's the area you want to explore. And then the dark area comes right across here. For those of you that want a little shallower water, you come right up and go into this cove right up here. Follow the brown, the dark brown, which is the coral, up into that area. Where those people are right now, that's okay to go there. That's all coral. But that's about as far that way as you want to go.
So all right then, now it's time to take the plunge and see what lies below.
that's it. That was Grecian Rocks at Pennekamp Reef. Unbelievable sight. Wonderful day to be at sea. Yeah. Well, after a day of total adventure, it's time for some tunes and some snacks. And it, of course, is cocktail hour. For now, I'm just gonna kind of kick back and camp. Yeah, that's right. One thing that I always like to do when I go camping. Is play cards. I don't exactly have anybody here with me, but that doesn't mean that I can't play a couple hands of solitaire, does it? I can't help, as I deal the cards, but to reflect a bit on the trip. There are two different snorkeling trips out of the state park, a 2.5-hour trip and an expanded 4-hour trip. The shorter trip that we just took only stops at one spot along the reef. The extended tour takes you to at least 2 spots. The windy conditions today canceled the longer tour, which I'd signed up for. They told me they needed at least 10 people in order for it to be a go. I was the only one. So, like this game, it was a bust. Oh well, just as well. 'Cause now, it's supper time. Camp food. You can only find this barbecue sauce in this part of Florida. I got turned on to it by a coastie that I met in the local supermarket. Well, it's about 7 a.m. and as they say, all good things must come to an end, so now it's time to strike the camp. But first, coffee. You come to appreciate things even like instant coffee when you're out here. But let's pack up and go. So, back on Highway 1. Then, take the car back, and after another taxi ride, train's in.
Those of you who were at our press conference yesterday, you heard from Susan Brooks.
Here's a part of the train that I have to admit is a total disappointment. I guess I expected a 40s style rolling restaurant with linen tablecloths and smiling waiters. not a snack bar selling microwave food. Kind of bleak, isn't it? Oh well, let's go back to the seat.
Tickets. Have your tickets out.
Sorry, I don't know where I put it.
No ticket.
Hey, wait, no, don't.
Bummer.
And there's Beach Bum. He's very, very happy to have me home. Yep. Now it's time for me to unpack. I still have to take the camping gear out. I got everything out of the cooler. Look at this. Got one can left of Vienna sausage, which we always called Martian weenies when I was camping as a as a younger guy. It was always Martian weenies. Anyway, last night after it got dark, when I got home, I took the drone out for a flight. She did take a couple of spectacular crashes, I have to admit. But she flew just fine. Tough little aircraft. Once again, it was awesome that they allowed me to fly it over Cannon Beach. Now, two of the most useful things, though, that I brought along on this trip, I mean, aside from an iPhone and a GoPro camera, were these things. First of all, this is an Eclipse MP3 player. Now, as my friend Rose pointed out to me, why would you need an MP3 player if you have an iPhone? Because you can load all of the songs in the world on it. Well, an iPhone discharges very, very quickly. You've got a lot of functions going on. You have to charge it up all the time. This thing, you can put 4 gigs worth of music onto it, which is everything I've got in my catalog practically. It'll play for 4 hours, almost 5 hours continuously, and it only takes 5 minutes to recharge. So it also has a little sports clip on it here, so you can put it on your shirt or whatever. This thing ended up just being invaluable almost. This was great. The other thing was this. Now this is a portable battery. It came from the Five Below store, so it's only $5.
but it held enough power that I was able to charge up that Eclipse several times and my iPhone twice before it ran out of juice. This was an invaluable tool to have taken on this trip with me. I have one more useful suggestion if you decide to launch off on this same adventure, particularly taking the train, renting a car, down to the reef. When you rent a car, don't make your reservation on the Amtrak site. The Amtrak site will, of course, direct you to the lowest fare for a rental car. However, keep in mind that all of those rental agencies are near the airport in Miami and nowhere near the train station. And the only way to get to those rental agencies will be by taxi cab, which is very expensive, as I found out. So instead of that, make arrangements with a rental car agency directly. Make sure that they will deliver a car to you rather than you having to go and pick it up. It may seem like that would be a whole lot more expensive at the outset, but it'll be cheaper in the long run. And by the way, you don't have to take the train from Orlando like I did. It's just because I live here. That train goes all the way up and down the East Coast. It starts in New York, and there's several stops along the eastern seaboard until it gets all the way to Miami. So it is quite a trip. All right then. Well, I'm Davey, the Last Wanderer of Mars. This has been my adventure and my film. Thanks for coming along. I hope you had a good time.